It was late on New Year's Eve. The roads were almost empty, covered in ice and leftover snow. Inside the car, the heater was running and soft music was playing. My girlfriend was half asleep beside me while I struggled to stay focused on the dark highway ahead. My eyes felt heavy. Every mile felt longer than the last. The night felt unnaturally quiet, like the world was holding its breath. The headlights cut through the darkness. There were no cars, no houses, no movement, just endless frozen asphalt stretching forward. Out of nowhere, a woman suddenly stood in the middle of the road directly in my headlights. 1 second, the road was empty. The next, she was there, unmoving, facing us. As my brain tried to understand what I was seeing, I noticed the long kitchen knife hanging from her hand. The blade caught the light, shining like ice. Her face looked twisted, like she was crying and screaming at the same time. It didn't look normal. It looked broken, filled with pain and something darker. I hit the brakes with everything I had. The car slid on the ice, tires screeching as we lost control. I turned the wheel sharply to avoid her, but the road was too slippery. The car spun, and for a moment, nothing felt real. When the car finally stopped, we were turned around. Through the windshield, we were facing her once more. She began limping toward us slowly, holding the knife tightly. Her movements were stiff, unnatural, like her body didn't work properly. The sound coming from her mouth wasn't normal screaming. It was raw, guttural, and animal-like, as if something inside her was trying to escape. My girlfriend was yelling at me to do something. I couldn't move. I was frozen, staring at this woman who didn't seem fully alive. As she got closer, I could see her eyes clearly. There was nothing in them. No fear, no emotion, just a hollow darkness. When she was only a few feet away, something inside me snapped. I threw the car into drive and slammed the gas. The tires spun wildly on the ice before finally catching. The car lunged forward toward her. In a way that felt impossible, she leaped onto the hood of the car, slamming into it with terrifying force. She clung to the hood with one hand while stabbing the windshield again and again with the knife. Each strike sounded like a gunshot. Her face was inches from the glass. Her eyes were locked on mine, unblinking, filled with pure hatred. I jerked the wheel left and right, trying to shake her off. The car slid and fishtailed, almost losing control again. On one violent turn, she finally lost her grip and slid off the hood, hitting the road hard and rolling into the shoulder. In the mirror, I saw her lying on the ground, unmoving in the snow. For a moment, I wanted to stop. I wondered if she was just a sick woman who needed help, and if I had just killed her. My girlfriend begged me to keep driving. She was shaking, crying, terrified. She said we couldn't get involved. I listened to her. I drove away, leaving whatever that woman was behind in the darkness. Later, I saw the cracked windshield, the knife marks, the scratches on the hood, but there was no blood. I checked the news for weeks after that night. No reports, no missing person, no body, nothing. To this day, I still don't know what stood on that road that night, or if it was even human at all. Cold winter air filled the city. Fireworks were ready. Crowds were celebrating, but something felt off, like the night was too quiet for such a big event. I was standing on a Manhattan rooftop, surrounded by strangers laughing and counting down to midnight. Near the edge of the roof, I saw her, a woman standing alone, staring at the city lights instead of the people. When she turned and looked at me, she smiled like she already knew me. We started talking. Her voice was calm, smooth, and strangely comforting. She told me about her life, her art, her 2 cats, and how she loved exploring abandoned buildings. Everything she said was too perfect, too detailed, like a story that had been memorized. Fireworks exploded. She held my hand. Her skin was ice cold. When I noticed, she smiled and said she was always cold. After midnight, she came back to my apartment with me. We talked for hours about her childhood, her fears, and her strange hatred of mirrors. I took a photo of her sitting on my couch, smiling. I fell asleep while she was still in my apartment. When I woke up, the apartment was empty. She was gone. The door was still locked from the inside. Her shoes, coat, and even her glass were gone. The only proof she was real was the photo on my phone. My best friend from Hong Kong called me, terrified. He said he met a woman on New Year's Eve, the same kind of woman I described. He sent me her photo. It was her, exactly the same face. We compared everything, name, cats, art, mirrors, childhood, and all identical. She had been in New York and Hong Kong at the same time. Neither of us ever saw her again. Every New Year's Eve, I get a message from an unknown number. Do you still remember me? I still don't know who and or what that woman really was. The story happened long before I was born. My father used to tell it in a low voice, like he was afraid something might hear him if he spoke too loudly. My father and his closest friend stayed in an old wooden lodge hidden deep in the mountains, far from the nearest town. Behind the lodge was a massive frozen lake, perfectly still, reflecting the dark trees and sky like glass. Villagers warned them never to go near the lake at night, especially on New Year's Eve. They said the ice was not empty. My father and his friend laughed at the warnings, believing they were just old superstitions. Snow fell quietly as New Year's Eve arrived. The forest was silent, unnaturally still. They sat near the fireplace, watching the clock, waiting for midnight. At exactly midnight, a blinding blue-white light exploded across the frozen lake, lighting up the forest. They jumped to their feet, stunned by the sudden brightness. From outside, a child's voice cried softly, asking for help. The voice sounded scared, cold, and desperate, echoing across the ice. Without thinking, they grabbed their coats and rushed into the freezing night. The air burned their lungs as they stepped onto the snow. Far out on the lake, beneath the glowing light, stood a small figure. It looked like a young boy standing completely still on the ice. My father shouted, asking if the boy was hurt. The boy did not respond. He didn't move. Suddenly, another bright flash lit the lake. The boy vanished instantly, leaving the lake empty. They stood there in silence, trying to understand what they had just seen. Slowly, they turned back toward the lodge. The boy was standing inside the lodge, staring at them through the window. The doors were locked. No one could have entered the house. The boy's smile was unnatural, too wide and unmoving. Fear took over as they rushed to open the door. When they got inside, the boy was gone. Neither of them slept that night. A child's laughter echoed outside the lodge, drifting across the frozen lake. The laughter sounded closer as the night went on. By morning, everything was quiet. The lake looked normal again. My father never returned to that lodge. He believes the boy was never trapped in the lake. He was trying to lure them onto it.